Right. That is, I've literally just put my leg in it.
So what episode are we on now?
It's episode 6. No, 5.
Episode 5. No, you wrote 6 down there.
Yeah, but that's for next week.
Someone
So
actually
what we
asked
doing?
a very interesting question. Do you think UK figure is merging into physique?
No, because the heels.
So we're just doing what we're doing then.
So right, okay. Welcome to episode 5.
Yeah,
5
Oh, God,
of the
so
WPD podcast. Brought to you by 3 hours sleep, prep brain, and a moon face. And my floor. Because apparently that's more of a comfortable option than the sofa. Mainly because like three WPD athletes on the sofa together. A, I'm worried it would break, and B, it's too close for my slight autistic traits. So that's why we're sat on the floor. So today we're just literally probably going to talk a load of rubbish, but we have got some questions that people have popped up on our stories to answer.
Yes.
So starting with, let's go Sara.
Should we start off with one then? So let's go with who wins an eating contest out of the three of us.
Ooh. I don't think we've all been in an off-season together to actually establish that. And what are we eating as
I
well?
can't eat, so I'm out. Like, I'm struggling as it is. I've got 1 a.m. alarms to get meals in at the moment.
But it depends on what we're eating, right? Because
It
if we're
does.
eating like bowls of rice, it's gonna be a little bit.
I get like a large pizza, I suppose.
What type there? Are we talking Papa John's? Talking Domino's?
Too much cheese, I'm still out.
I think I could hold my own on that. I think.
I reckon.
Yeah.
I struggle with a large nowadays.
Don't we all?
I struggle. I know.
Fucking Jesus. Yeah. I don't know.
Say it, don't spray it.
To be honest, I think I might win out of our slot, considering that.
We're gonna have to
We'll have to
actually do this and
Yeah.
film it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll have to
definitely.
do that.
And then I want a Colin the Caterpillar cake, and I want to eat the whole thing as well.
What is it? The Harry Potter Dementor.
Dementor.
That's it. That's it.
We had this friend that. Have you ever heard of Odds On before?
No.
So Odds On basically is like, okay, so if I said, Debs, I want you to down a cup of hot coffee, and you're like, okay, I pick a number between 1 and 10, you go 1 and 10, and I count us down, and if we both pick the same number, you have to do it. So if I'm like, okay, 3, 2, 1, and we both pick 7, you have to drink that cup of coffee. And we did it with a friend, so we had a whole Battenberg cake at university, and we went, Laura Jane, I bet you, if I odds on you to eat that Battenberg cake in like 5 minutes, and we're like, okay, 3, 2, 1, and we both picked 7, so we just watched one of our like housemates just demolish this Battenberg, but she had to do it in like under 3 minutes, so it was just like, this Battenberg cake. It was so funny.
We should
So
do that.
look forward to the episode in the future where we have an eating contest.
Yeah.
Yes.
We shall do that.
But yes, that's that one done.
What else we got?
Oh, this is a good one. Is there a stigma when it comes to sponsors choosing a certain look in athletes?
I don't know about a certain look, but a certain Instagram following, I think.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like companies have to, I guess, to have a payback from an athlete, you have to have a good following, don't you?
Yeah.
But I think there's a lack of companies willing to give the lower followed athletes a chance to build with them, if that makes sense.
Yeah, like the opportunity to do it, because like, you know, there's so many like undiscovered athletes, I suppose, that not got the social media following. That kind of like deserve it. Do you know what I mean? So
or need the support a little bit more. Like, I mean, I think as well that they would prefer certain athletes over other athletes. Like, if you're a little bit controversial in what you believe in, what you think, then they're probably less likely to sponsor you. I don't know. I mean, like, I
mean, I think the fact that I've got not quite 3,500 followers, and I have Miss Bikini Fitness, which is wicked. But you guys have got sort of company sponsors. With your, because you've got a higher following. But
do you think that's like the main reason though? I mean, obviously, like I said, it plays a huge part of it, but like,
I don't know. Well, I'd like to think it's not my physique that's preventing me.
I'd like to think it's not my face, but
my face. It's a very tired face. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't, with the level of following I've got at the moment, I wouldn't even dream of approaching a company, because it's like you say, what can I I've got a unique selling point in the fact that I work rotating shift patterns and do this job, do this sport. But other than that, there's not really.
That's very applicable to the general public, right?
Yeah.
Or like the people that want to get into bodybuilding, but they're like afraid to do it because they think that their hours hold them back, which is a really, like the fact that you're doing that that can apply to so many people.
Yeah, there is. I mean, if you're organised enough and you love the training enough and you want it enough, I know that sounds like cliche, if you want it enough, but ultimately, it's the only way to get it done.
Yeah.
I don't even think about it now. It's like, oh, I've just done a night shift. Let's go and train.
Do you also think that like sponsors are more like entitled to go towards the bigger categories as well because it exposes to more of a
I imagine so.
Market,
more streamlined, isn't it? Like that's like not nothing against the category, but bikini's such a big category, isn't it? There's so many people that want to do it, and there's so many people that want to get into that they're more likely to take on an athlete
bikini,
because it's like it's more of like a streamlined look. It's more of a friendly look, I suppose you would call it.
And
but it's
controversial opinion, maybe, I don't know. The amount of time taken, like to build our level of muscle mass, it takes decades.
I don't know.
And like again, that's not detracting from the work of a bikini athlete.
No, of course not.
It's just the time span needed.
Yeah,
you can't put on that level of muscle mass.
Yeah. But then, if I had my own company, and I would much rather sponsor an athlete who stands out and maybe has a slightly lower following, because I want someone different. I don't want someone that follows the crowd. Like I go on about being different all the time. Why would I sponsor an athlete who looks the fucking same as everyone else?
Yeah,
I want someone who's like out there, who's different. Like a bit like there's a strong woman called Rhiannon Lovelace. She's different. She's fucking awesome.
Yeah,
like,
I follow her as well.
I competed against her like years ago when I did powerlifting. And she's just obviously exploded because she's so good at what she does.
Yeah.
And I would have taken her on if I was a company because she's got awesome hair, she's big, she's strong as fuck, she's good at what she does. But because she's in strongman, it's not such a big thing. She looks different. I mean, yes, she's got sponsors now because obviously her following and that. But like, and she's known. But when she was younger, she wasn't really known, so no one would take her on. And because obviously, she's. But that's why I don't understand with a lot of companies because they don't seem to want different. They just want the same cardboard cutout. And that's why when Fireball Labs approached me, they were like, "You're different. I like you." And that's what's nice about the company is because they'll give different people a chance. Yeah, and I think every company should be like that to some extent. Yeah. But I don't know. Obviously, it's very controversial what companies go for, and you do want to be able to get back what you give the athlete. But I don't know. I think maybe a little bit more time should be given to the athletes that maybe have a slower or lower following, so they can grow their following together.
Yeah. Like align with obviously like obviously a lot of sponsors want to make sure that they do align with like their principles, like their philosophy and stuff. And like I think that's the massive part of it, isn't it? And it's just you do see like so many athletes and you're like, why is this athlete not getting the attention?
Exactly.
And you're just like, sometimes they just need to put a foot in the door and be like, right, here's and it's not like you're asking for the same as a higher tier pro or something like that. It's just getting your foot on the ladder, isn't it? And then just building it up like you were saying. So
yeah, that's it, exactly. You got a question, Romana Banana?
If you hadn't done bodybuilding, what other sport would you have done?
I would probably have done rugby. I was quite good at rugby when I was younger, and went to try and trial for Bath, but it was like a time when my mum died and all that, so like I couldn't go, and didn't have the time to drive me to Bath training every year, every week. Sorry, so I reckon that would have gone somewhere. Maybe with my athletics, my sprinting, maybe. But I think
sprinter too.
Yeah, 100 meters.
What was your PB?
Oh God, like 13 seconds.
Snap.
Yes, meant to be. Yeah, but probably rugby. I love rugby.
So mine. So I did all sorts when I was younger. So I would probably go for something like mixed martial arts, kickboxing, something like that. Because that's what I used to do when I was like 8 or 9. I just loved it. Like, love the look of like MMA, watching like the grapples and stuff like that. I don't know. I think I'm just got that spice,
Do you not think your motocross would have gone somewhere?
Probably. I think it would have. But obviously, when you get older, you ever like tripped over something, hit your knee,
bouncing.
How much that hurts?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Just imagine falling off a bike and like smashing into something, right?
I used to watch a lot of motocross growing up, and I remember a girl went to go over the tabletop, landed wrong and bit through her tongue.
Yeah, that's disgusting. And that is awful. But I mean, obviously, like within fighting, you get, but at least you know when to. Do you know what I mean? Like, you can dodge it. Whereas
you've got no control over stacking it off a motocross.
No,
bike.
I mean, I absolutely love that. I mean, I would kick my bike out under me if I was going to bail on the jump. I'd just bail on it and roll out. Like, but you're made like you're a little bit more like malleable then, aren't you? Now you're just like solid.
Yeah,
floor.
Yeah. Like make a crater when you land.
Yeah, like,
yeah.
What about you?
So I think it would either be the athletics or, dare I say it, CrossFit.
Because CrossFit would have gone somewhere. Like,
I was a big fish in a small pond.
Yeah.
Like I was one of the sort of better females in the gyms I trained at.
Yeah.
There was maybe like I was, especially when it came to like engine wise, cardiovascular, sprinting, anything with running, anything that was really gassy long, I'd smash it. But then it was more the sort of Olympic techers that held me back a little bit.
Yeah.
But I mean, I did the CrossFit Games for a few years in a row, and like I was the second fittest paramedic in the UK at one point, and like top 10 fittest paramedic in the world. There was a woman. Oh, what's Jodie?
For listeners, by the way, that's not a small pig. It's the dog.
It's Ruby.
Just
1 2 testing 1 2 1 2.
Sorry, Malachi.
Yeah, so I think I would have. I don't think it would have gone anywhere, but it would have definitely been my like. The sofa's going.
I'm leaning back.
Yeah, I don't think it would have necessarily gone anywhere, but it would have kept me in my happy place.
Yeah.
I did quite a bit of running around that time as well, trained for a marathon, but I don't think it would have been to the same extent. I don't even think my sprinting, because at the time when I did my PB, I was like 18, so it's kind of your ship sailed by that point. If you hadn't,
I think with sprinting, there's definitely like a peak age, isn't there? Like I was like ridiculous at like. Must have been when I was like 10, 11, and then as I just got older, it just got shit. So I didn't know.
So I got better as I got older because
really?
I actually started. Well, I never trained formally until I was old enough to drive.
Yeah.
And then I was old enough to go to athletics training and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So that was how my sprinting got better.
Yeah.
But like I say, it's like growing up in Dorset, there wasn't the exposure. There was one woman who was really, really good. And I think she's actually gone to the Olympics, but representing New Zealand. A woman called Nikki. But other than that, nobody that I know from Dorset.
Yeah.
There's very few people that kind of. Although, saying that, like, Luke was from Dorset.
Oh.
Yeah. It's claim to fame.
Claim to fame.
From Dorset.
That's interesting, though. I didn't realise you were second best paramedic and.
Yeah.
Badass.
Why have you not got that on your bio on Instagram, man?
Because I'm not a CrossFitter anymore.
Doesn't matter. Chuck it on.
Chuck it on, mate.
Chuck it on.
Nah, I can't remember what year that was. It must have been like
1912.
1912.
Fuck off. It was probably like 2012.
1912.
Shut up, pasty.
Shut up.
Hey.
And you, moonface.
Oh.
I'm spicy.
Spicy. Right, I'll ask. How do you keep yourself so driven?
I think for me, if I don't have a focus, a goal, structure, routine, I'm just lost.
Yeah, I'm the same.
Agree.
Like living with my mum, where I couldn't have the routine. This is basically I've worked 13 years in London and decided to come back down to the southwest and move back in with my mum for 2 years, and those usual structure and routine things that you have the control over when you suddenly live in a house that isn't your own anymore. You probably you have to. There's certain things that I couldn't do anymore in that, and it would almost be like the monitoring of the time I was at the gym, and just that makes me feel really lost. Actually, we were chatting yesterday, weren't we, about being in off season and how having this podcast is really good to have that focus whilst. The long-term goal is to obviously get bigger, but short-term it can be a bit overwhelming and a bit kind of like, oh, what do I do? I've got nothing to focus on. Everyone else is on prep. I'm just over here turning into a whale. Like, teach me. Summer's coming. Yay. And this is, to be fair, this is the longest time I would have been in off season since I started being a bodybuilder. So it's good to have something else to focus on and distract from the fact that prep is such a long way away.
That's it. I think it does get hard when you see everyone else getting ready for shows and stuff, and you're still like deep in an off season.
Yeah.
With the idea that you're not.
But you always want the.
But
you always want the opposite, though, don't you? Like,
Yeah,
because
that's
when
it.
you're in prep and you see people getting bigger and improving, you're like, oh, amazing. And then, like, you always want the opposite side. But I mean,
No, I
that's
always
kind of-
love being shredded.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah. I don't really look. I sort of get to my strength tends to maintain quite well to an extent. So I don't have those like real kind of I wish I was big, like I wish I was getting fat. It's only when it comes to like social occasions that you have to then sacrifice that I'm like, I wish I wasn't in prep.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, I think what you said there, that it just.
What is she doing?
It's quite constant. She's like found her way under the coffee table.
Ruby is
now.
comatosing herself under the. I've lost my dog.
She's stretched. Yes. But like that focus, like I was talking to, I don't know, someone the other day,
playing,
and I was talking,
Ruby,
and it was that focus of like, you know, I think some people think it depends on like their outlook on bodybuilding, but they almost like think it's almost like a chore. And I'm like, if you feel like it's a chore, I mean, sometimes you'll go to the gym and you like have a day here and there that you're like, oh shit. But I mean, generally, like we fucking love what we do, right? So it's not a chore. It's not like, oh, how are you motivated? Like sometimes you're not motivated, and like you got like, right, actually, these are my goals I want to achieve, short term, long term.
Yeah.
And this is how I'm going to do it. And like you don't just like wake up one day and like it's all done. It takes so much. Like it's like a compounding effect, isn't it?
That's it as well. When it's been part of your routine for so long, then you don't like know anything else.
Yeah,
like, people are like, how can you get to work, or how can you get to train?
It's weird, isn't it?
Like,
that doesn't compute, does it? It's just part of our life.
And if I don't do that in my day, I'm like lost.
Yeah.
It's the same with the goal thing. Like,
do you find it's actually harder not to stick to it and not to go to the gym than it is to
do it? Yeah.
I mean, like today is a prime example of I would have trained, but it would have been one of those like, right, I'm gonna. Because I'm on 3 hours sleep post a night shift, it would be like, right, I'm going to train arms, and it may not be the best session, but it's a session that
exactly
I've done that somebody else might not have done.
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
And it's that whole mentality of I got to the gym and I did something, even though it might for me might not be my usual intensity.
Yeah,
like I had a back session Saturday. The intensity was just non-existent because I was in between my night shifts. And but actually, the DOMs I had from that, because I had longer rest periods, the reps and the weight were higher and heavier. Yeah. So it's actually surprisingly better than I anticipated.
Yeah.
I beat myself up through the whole session thinking, my intensity's gone. But it was, I felt really good.
But you were still going in, still doing what you need to get done, you know?
Well, that shows you care about it there as well, doesn't it? Because, you know, you see people in the gym, they literally just stop at a certain rep range and they... You know, it's not like that for us, is it? No. Like we want to get the best out of everything, and I suppose that's what keeps us driven as well. Because we are, I know it sounds cheesy, but we are competing against ourselves, and we have to remember there are people out there, like you said, putting in the other workout. So if you do one less, someone else might have done it.
I mean,
and that's what keeps you going, right?
Moonface won't have missed a day.
Moonface, it's true.
I am the moon. I am born. Mind you, mine's looking pretty. You could be Moon, I'll be Mars.
Yeah. Yeah.
Red planet over here.
Yeah, and I think as well, like, your competition's probably gone into that session. They've done more reps than you. You know what I mean? Like, you're always thinking about, maybe first place. I don't want to be second place. I want to be first place. You know. So yeah, I think, like you said, it's just we love what we do. So
I love the fact Reeves is just sitting in.
She's having a great time.
She's like, I'm chairman.
But yes.
Yeah.
Is it me asking?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's your turn.
I'm going to go with that one. Who can deadlift the most? I think we already established this earlier, didn't we?
Yeah.
Which is you, isn't it?
So go Sara. In my defence, my PB was when I was on prep, and it's only 2 kg lighter than Sara's, and I was never a power lifter.
Yeah. I haven't done a deadlift in, honestly, about a year, so I don't know. But last time I deadlift, it was like 155, I think.
Yeah, that's not bad.
I love the way you keep fiddling with a ruby sock.
Look how tiny this. That would actually probably fit my feet, to be honest.
Yeah.
It has little paw things on it.
That would fit my
Ruby
penis.
itches her feet, so I put
Like
them on to
cock
stop
socks.
her chewing. Did you just say it's like a cock sock?
Yeah, you could wear that as. No, I was out of cock socks. Yeah.
Well, there's
That
probably
fit
people
mine,
out there
it
that
definitely
think.
fit mine.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
Anyway.
Sara, Romana, me.
Plan. plan. I don't deadlift anymore though.
No, I haven't.
I'm not
I
a
just
fan
do
of deadlifts.
RDLs and.
I don't know. If I'm like Nat and Ed, who I train with, they have deadlifts in their density day.
Yeah.
And if I'm training with them, I'll do them just for shits and
Just
giggles.
They are fun from time to time, aren't they? But I think
Yeah.
Yeah.
you have to as well. You have to plan them in because if you've got so much volume in the week and you've got like back, legs, and you separate them all between, something's going to be fried. You pick it up and that's it. You've messed up, haven't you?
Yeah.
So you got to be careful with them.
I mean, those two lads have a powerlifting background, and they lift well with good form.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's quite. What was it? I can't remember what weight he did, but he did like 18 and a half reps with like something like 200 kg the other day.
That is nice.
Yeah.
But I think that's the thing people are falling into because like this whole Instagram thing. People are falling into, I've got a deadlift because so and so's doing it, and you're like, you're a bodybuilder at the end of the day. Like, yeah, it's good to shift weight and like add on tissue, but if it's not actually serving a purpose to your physique in that manner, then why are you doing it? And I think people get stuck in that rut, don't they?
That was the exact response I had from my coach at the time when I posted my deadlift PB. I think I was 10 weeks out from what would have been my pro debut before I had to carbosh the whole thing. And he was like, please explain to me exactly how this is going to benefit your physique.
You're like, well, it might.
It was. That's it. Like, I think I've seen some people post up like, oh, I don't really get on with deadlifts or RDLs, but I'm still going to do them. It's like, why the fuck are you doing them? Like, if you don't get on with them and you have no, it benefits you at none, like, why are you still doing them then?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. One of those things, isn't it? You see someone with like thousands of Instagram followers and you want to do deadlifts just like they are because it obviously works for them. So, yeah.
That's it.
Right,
Choose your exercises wisely.
This is... Oh, cancel. No, what am I doing? So, got a slightly silly question.
Oh, my God.
Would you rather be chased by 10 duck-sized rubies or 1 horse-sized ruby? For me, it's got to be 10 duck-sized rubies. It's just like... I mean...
But when they're chasing you, are they aggressive or are they like just?
I don't know. It's just the fact of having 10 rubies.
That would be amazing.
It doesn't matter what size they are.
I think I'd like to see the horse-sized rubies. To be fair, because I've never seen one that size before.
Oh my God! Yeah,
that's what I mean.
It would literally be an earthquake.
I'd say 10 little duck-sized rubies.
10 duck-sized rubies.
You going with horse?
And shout out to Lee for that question. That literally kept me giggling all through my shift last night. I was like, I can't wait that one. Yeah.
Let's stretch that up there.
Is it my turn?
It is your turn.
It is your turn.
Let's have a wee gander. What was the lowest moment you ever experienced in your bodybuilding careers?
I would say that 2018 year for me that I spoke about before, where like I knew that I wasn't ready for that show.
Yeah.
The first time two bros were there, and I knew I didn't want to do it, but the coach I had at the time made me do it.
Yeah. And
I just stepped on stage, and I felt like utter shit. And you come off, and I was so deflated because I knew I wasn't going to place.
Yeah.
And I like I said to you before, I just ate myself into oblivion for that.
Yeah.
And I think that was like the lowest for me. Like, and it just fucked with like everything in my head, and it don't make you like doubt yourself.
Yeah.
I think that was my lowest moment in bodybuilding, but then obviously
it's funny how like things like that impact you going forward, isn't it?
Yeah,
like, it's crazy how one bad moment can like just spiral you out of control for a little while.
Yeah.
But yeah,
we'll be back up again.
Back up again. What about you, Romana?
I think for me, because I turned pro in 2020, and we had the second lockdown, which was only a month, so that wasn't too bad. But then when lockdown 3 hit, and I had permission from Unit 7 to use the gym, so I was using that. And one weekend I'd left for work, and the police and Sky, like I'd been training, left the gym to go to work. The police and Sky News turned up at Unit 7 because somebody had said that I think it was potentially multiple people that were training there, as if the gym was open or something like that. And as I said, luckily I'd left, because otherwise you can imagine the headline, can't you? NHS worker breaks lockdown. But it wasn't breaking lockdown. So I had about a month where Dave, bless him, he was like, until we get that's the manager, until we get something concrete that allows you to train, I'm going to have to say no.
Yeah.
And it was about a month of like trying to find out how to seek permission. And I just it just went really low then, because I was like, I had very minimal equipment. Luckily, my good friend Andy lent me a load of bumper plates, and I bought a barbell, but it's still not the same. And it was that real kind of like, you're on your own anyway because it's lockdown. I was working too much because it was the only way to kind of socialise or do anything. Was to work, living on my own. I think my mum had the dog, so I didn't even have Ruby. And that was pretty low. And it was eventually managed to get in touch with the local neighbourhood police chief inspector, who gave me permission to be able to train, and I was able to go back to.
Because I thought as a professional athlete you could train.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what I heard.
The thing was that Dave wanted like it in writing somehow.
Yeah.
Which I understand, because they're an independent gym, they can't afford the fines. And I was just stoked that they let me do it and let me train there. But that was, I just had those like real, and I know I'm not the only one, and ultimately I did have gym access, so it was just that the hype of turning pro and thinking, right, let's make some real concrete progression here. And the carpet was just ripped from under me. So that was probably my lowest point. What about you, Sara?
I'd probably have to say lockdowns as well, actually, because that first lockdown, all of them just fucked me up, because it's my way of releasing much like everyone else. And the thing is, like you said, only so much you can do at home. I lived in a flat and I had like some dumbbells and then some shitty bumper plates, but like I just lost my shit because I was already in a bad place at the time. I didn't really enjoy my job and stuff like that, and I just had that, exactly like you said, ripped out from underneath you. Like a lot of people were like, oh, why do you care so much? It's just the gym. And it's like, it's not just the gym. Like,
but it's like you saying that's them not being able to go out and socialise on the weekend, go and have a drink with their mates. Exactly. You know what I mean? It's the same. It's the same sort of thing, isn't it?
It's not just a room full of weights. It's like where I go and see my family and like people who get you and why you're there. Like that's why obviously I gel so well with Connor, because he can read me very well. I can walk in one day and he would just, by my body language, know exactly how I'm feeling the minute I walk in, and like you just get it because you all got a background. Like we had this discussion the other day in the car, didn't we? Yeah. We've all got some background that's all led us to come together. Yeah. And like lockdown was just, you just take everything away from you. And
we are planning a more in-depth mental health episode to come.
Yes.
Cheery.
Yeah, but then we might.
But it's necessary though, isn't it?
I think it's important to talk about it.
Yeah, that's probably, I would agree with you.
Yeah.
Lockdown was a shit.
It's the shit, yes.
Oh, that's the shit.
Yes. See, you are so powerful. It's not a question.
That's not a question, is it?
Mr. _ 4881.
Hey, they love that mention now.
Yeah, called you out.
Here's a silly one. Would you rather go a year with no eyelashes or go a year with no eyebrows? I'm going to say lashes, because you need the eyebrows for the expressions, right?
Yeah, that's true, actually. But then you can just draw on your eyebrows.
Yeah, but I'm not allowed. I'm still not allowed them. No eyebrows.
Oh, I see.
It doesn't specify that you can't draw them on.
That is true.
I'd still go with get rid of the eyelashes. That's fine.
Yeah, because
I think I would agree, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because at least if you have eyebrows, the sweat will kind of be stopped going into your eyes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and if you sweat with drawn on eyebrows, it's just...
How can I do this if I have no eyebrows?
Exactly. I wish I could do that. I can let both mine just go at the same time. Look.
I taught myself to do that, and I've tried teaching myself to do
that. There you go, look.
Yeah.
A little pinhead.
So pretty. The pinhead.
The pinhead, the moon face, and what were you?
Old.
Oh, yeah, that sounds about right.
Moony pinhead.
Moony pinhead.
Oh, that was it. Sleep deprived.
Sleep deprived.
Space cadet.
What a combination.
Okay, so you have one protein, one carb, and one fat choice that you can eat forever. What would it be?
This is tough.
Spaghetti bolognese with some peanut butter.
With some peanut butter? Oh my god.
But turkey spaghetti bolognese with peanut butter.
Why peanut butter? You just a fan
I don't know why, but I really like it. It's got some it has to be the crunchy one as well.
Oh fuck yeah, smooth's wasted.
And it sticks to your mouth, and you can get it for ages. You know what I mean? You have to for ages.
I used to suck it off a spoon like a lolly.
Yeah, exactly what I'm talking about.
Okay then.
I think for me it would be some sort of cinnamon Danish flavoured protein powder, oats, and dark chocolate.
What a combination!
Yeah, that's a good combo.
That's a good combo.
I'd probably be sick, but after a year, a lifetime.
What would you go for?
I would probably go for chicken as my protein because it's so versatile. You can do loads of chicken.
Oh, I've got turkey.
Oh, somebody's going sensible.
Fat, probably dark chocolate,
Dark chocolate.
and then carb source.
Missed
pasta,
opportunity
maybe.
to shout out your
Oh,
sponsor
so you're not
there.
far off.
Oh,
from me.
oh yeah, whey protein by Fireball Labs.
No, the chocolate.
Oh, well, they're not my sponsor. They're
Oh,
just.
Didn't they send you some chocolate?
They did, yes.
Yeah, we
Is
all
this
really
Montezuma?
like dark chocolate.
We do actually really like dark
What was the
chocolate.
brand?
I think it's like Montezuma. It's very good.
Montezuma. We all really like
Yeah.
dark chocolate.
Have you ever got dark chocolate and then smum with peanut butter on top of it and eaten it? Have you ever
Never.
tried that?
Never.
Try that.
I'll go have some.
Also, peanut butter on dried apricots.
Oh, I can imagine that's banging.
Yeah.
How about
fucking love-
figs? You tried
Oh
it
yes.
with fig?
I haven't tried it with figs actually. Oh, hello. You're gonna come
Stop
talk to
talking
me
about food
now?
right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yes, that would probably be my
Mm.
choice.
So you're chicken, dark chocolate pasta.
Pasta,
I'm
probably, yeah.
turkey, pasta, and peanut butter
Yes.
with some spags.
Hey,
With the spag
Spazzles. And then Romana is oats.
cinnamon Danish,
Danish
whey, and
whey.
dark chocolate.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Something nice. What about you, Ruby? Chicken.
Chicken.
Bonios.
Bonio.
Bonio.
Bonios.
Bonio. I'm gonna have to get her a bonio now.
How to pick up an online coach for lifestyle bodybuilders, aka serious lifters not competing though.
Ugh.
Sorry, what? Can you repeat that?
So, how to pick up an online coach for lifestyle bodybuilders, aka serious lifters not competing.
Oh, so how to get a coach to help you
Yeah,
be a
what-
bodybuilder that doesn't step on stage,
yeah,
basically.
yeah. Essentially, I guess it's just about looking at what the coach does, like what they're experienced in. Like take Tom for example. He's only really a competing coach
Yeah.
and does competitors, and then you have your only lifestyle coaches. But then you might have a coach that does, like myself. I do both lifestyle and competitive clients.
Mhm.
You do that as well.
Yeah.
It's just
I
looking. Romana does only dogs.
Occasionally
I have
posing.
no idea what I just said.
Dogs.
Dog walking. Right, would you?
Romana does posing.
Yes. Kind
Shout
of,
me
I
out.
guess.
Shout out.
Kind
Oh
of.
my lord.
Thanks.
Do you not do it anymore? I thought you didn't.
Yeah, I do it. I don't like. I think for me, in person is probably
Better.
the way
It's
to
nicer,
go.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
So-
think it's just all about looking at what the coach offers. Like, there's so many coaches out there. Just like look at reviews, look at their social media, get even
Their
message
results
them.
and stuff as well.
That's
yeah.
it,
And make sure that they
exactly.
just, I don't know, that they're aligned with you as well.
Yeah,
Because you can get a coach that like seems, oh, they've done amazing with that person, but they just might not gel with you.
yeah, that's
And
it.
you've got to
exactly.
find someone that you gel with.
Yeah, because if you don't gel with them, then you're just not gonna
No.
work. It's just simple. Like I've spoken quite a bit about like an athlete and coach relationship, and like having a good relationship with a coach is so fundamental to your progress. That if that relationship isn't there, you're not going to be honest. You're not going to be like, oh look, I messed up a little bit, like because you won't feel comfortable in saying that to the coach. Like
No.
I would tell Tom I messed up if I did because I know we have honesty between us, and you're
Mhm.
probably both the same with Tom. Like,
Mm.
and so it's just being able to develop a relationship that you're comfortable in telling everything or being comfortable
Yeah.
in displaying stuff to. And
You-
then, yeah,
You don't want a relationship where you're afraid to tell them the truth.
exactly. That's it. Yeah.
Because that's not going to benefit either of you in the long run.
Yeah.
It's like if, say, for example, I had 2 hypos, and I was like, "That's my fault because I didn't space my food out." But Sara here told Tom anyway, and Tom was like, "Hey, Deb, what's going on with you and these hypos?" I was like, "Well,
Tattletale over
no, but that's good though because she's got my back." But that was like a self-imposed thing, wasn't it? Like that's
Mhm.
That was, I don't know, I think that's a bit harsh on you. That was forgetting to mention to you that there's an hour drive
Yeah.
either side of the gym we were going to and waiting for the Bob to arrive, and he unfortunately got
Yeah.
stuck in traffic. So there's multiple factors. So I don't think it's fair to say it was your error.
No.
I think it was a combined team effort.
Team effort for
But
hypo.
But that's no more hypos though. To be fair, I've got less carbs going in, no hypos happening now. But yeah, I think it's just finding one that works best for you, and like these guys are saying as well, like make sure you can communicate, because if you can't
Yeah.
communicate with coaches, there's no point.
Yeah. Like,
Because if you're doing something wrong, or maybe something they've given you is not working for you, you need to be able to relay that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And tell them.
and even if you're unsure of whether they're still right for you, just message one of their clients. Like,
Yeah.
if they have that many clients, just like find them. Maybe if they're tagged in a photo,
I
then
mean,
just
that's
message
a
them.
really good point, because that's exactly what I did when I was looking for a new coach.
Yeah.
Was like, I chatted to Caitlin. I think I messaged you.
I think you might have. Yeah.
Yeah, I had a chat with Natasha. She's a figure that's now gone to wellness, about whose coach she went with. I chatted to a couple of the lads as well, about like their coaches. My mate AJ was with, who was he with at the time? Sasan. And then I was debating different people and different until I decided on Tom.
Tom Massive.
Tomo. Next question.
To be honest, I decided on Tom. I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
And then there was also the doubt that he might be like, no, I don't want to coach you.
Ew.
Your figure.
Next question. What is your current workout schedule for everyone?
So it'll probably be like chest. Well, mine changes all the time. It's just dependent. Like, but if I had a schedule, it would probably be like chest and shoulders, back, legs, off. This is when my knee wasn't fucked up, so I hit legs twice. Yeah, so chest, back. It'd be chest, back, and shoulders, legs, off. Legs, back, and shoulders off, or vice versa.
And are you doing any have you got like a step count? Are you doing any cardio anything at the minute, or because obviously you're off season?
No, step counts anything at like around 8,000 minimum. Normally with my job I hit 24 plus anyway. So like
is that a day?
Yeah, I think in like 1 week, in like 5 days, I hit like over 140,000 steps. Like, it was
bloody
hell. So, and then obviously no cardio. But yeah, and then a lot of my training is very high volume. Obviously, like you said before, I've got someone in the middle that does a lot of my training. Yeah. So it's a lot of high volume, very quite fast paced stuff. And I've been doing that split for fucking yonks now.
And it's working though, isn't it?
Yeah,
right,
we did like a phase of training back like 4 times a week, which was decent. I think it did its job, but I'm very much like, I'm same with you guys. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And I'm just stuck with that split for ages. Obviously, I'm doing less legs now because of my knee, but like, it's still a great session regardless. Yeah. So, yeah, that's how it works now.
Sweet. What's yours, Romana?
Chaos. Utter chaos. I have a because I work generally 4 on 4 off, but I do overtime in between that and then move my shifts around and things. So it's kind of what I can fit in. There's no strict pattern. Like yesterday I trained legs, today was push. Tomorrow, because of time, will probably be arms, and then Friday probably back, and Saturday legs, and that sort of. Some days I'll train like 5-6 days on the bounce, and then have 2 back-to-back rest days. Just because when I do 12-hour day shifts with the dog, it's impossible to train around work. When I'm up at 5, I'm home at like 7:15. If I was to go to the gym, I wouldn't be at home in bed until like 10, 10:30.
Yeah.
And with getting up at 5, for me, something I've noticed with this off season is focusing on my sleep so much, and being so much more strict with my sleep.
Yeah.
Has definitely shown an impact. So I'd rather have 2 back-to-back training days with a decent amount of recovery and sleep, and then hit it hard going into my nights and then into my days off than try and squeeze in a session around just to keep. Oh well, I've got to have 1 on, 1 off, 3 on.
Yeah,
it just doesn't work for me.
So you just do it around obviously your shift pattern, but it shows obviously for people out there that don't think they can do it, it can be done.
Yeah,
it can be done, and you can grow, and you can make good gains off it.
It's like I'll train legs before my first night shift because I've got the most time.
Yeah,
and then I'll train like either push or arms in between my nights because for me they're less mentally taxing.
Yeah,
and then like. Back would probably be my last, like when I come off nights or something like that. I wouldn't ever train legs coming off nights.
Like the less taxing ones.
That'd be brutal, that would.
I've had to do it. Like I did it the other weekend with my mate Jack.
Yeah.
And that's the only time I will do it is if I'm training with somebody.
Yeah.
To like carry me through.
Yeah. Do you find that your strength like massively dips when you do that, or
when we trained together the first time in Trojans?
Yeah.
And I think I'd had maybe about 5 hours sleep. It wasn't off a night shift, but I'd finished late. And then driven to Bristol and we trained.
Yeah.
And you probably wouldn't have noticed it because it was the first time we trained together. My strength was definitely down.
Really?
With things like lat raises, and I was fatiguing a lot quicker.
Yeah.
And it's almost like you don't have the mental balls to kind of push it. And I think that's probably a body self-defense mechanism from injuring.
Yeah.
So that's my craziness.
What are you, Debs?
So my split's like so it's, what are we on now? So pull Monday, normally I do push Tuesday, legs Wednesday, but because like today I did legs yesterday, so Tuesday. Push today with you guys. Then I have Thursday off. Friday I then do push. Saturday's legs.
Yeah.
And then that's more ham posterior chain sort of glute based one. The
Yeah.
other one's quad.
Yeah.
And then I have Sunday off. And then obviously at the minute I'm hitting. Well, cardio's just been changed obviously because I'm on prep. So I'm 6.5 weeks out. And that is 45 minutes of fasted cardio. I do that with my weighted vest on, and then I'm doing 20.
Is that on the stepper?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Old school stepper.
Old school stepper.
And then I'm doing 20,000 steps with 10 kilos vest on as well a day at the minute. So it's I'm pushing it. But I mean, you know, it's working, but maybe a rest day. We were discussing this, weren't we? Maybe a rest day is due to take down some inflammation on the lower half.
Yeah,
and just get things moving a bit, maybe.
Because I was saying, when I'm on prep, I have to have at least 1 or 2 complete, not even like a cardio rest day, complete rest day, because otherwise all the fluid from my shifts and from training just never.
It's definitely like you can feel it. It's like almost like systemic inflammation. I can almost feel it. Like
I get like
my
I
mind
can't grip properly. That's when I know I need a rest day. It's like I get all puffy in my forearms and my hands.
Yeah.
And it's like they feel like sausages about to explode.
Ooh. That's weird.
That's probably, but you're always on keyboard, aren't you, as well? So
this was even before.
Oh, really?
Yeah, even when I was back crossfitting and I knew I needed a rest day because my forearms would hurt.
That's really interesting.
I get like it's almost
That's
like
weird, isn't it?
really bad forearm pump and hand pump.
Yeah.
But it's when I wake up.
Huh.
That's weird. Like I just know because obviously we've all prepped quite a lot, and I know like the stages of my physique. It's like you guys have seen like in person. Like I'm lean. Yeah. I can almost. It's almost like I've got a little film. It's not even like so much fat. It feels just almost like that inflammatory sort of fluid sat there, and I don't like in my mind. Again, you guys have been around me. I'm not that bad at all, am I? I'm like got quite a lot of energy and stuff, but I just feel it there, like sitting there. So obviously, like checking in with Tom now every other day. I'll just talk to him about that tomorrow. I mean, and again, this is coming back to that coaching question. Like, you know, I'll relay this across, and like, obviously, I've spoken to you guys as well.
And
it's
the fact
just nice.
I know you saw Tom in person. What, 10 days ago? More than that?
Oh, yeah, probably a little bit, maybe a bit longer than that.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Whereas, I'm definitely seeing you more frequently, and Sara to an extent as well.
Yeah.
So it's just those extra eyes. I mean.
All season competitors, we all kind of know what's going on.
And the thing is, you guys aren't going to blow smoke up my arse either. Like,
no.
You're going to give me like, you know, if it's something to say, like, maybe that is it. And it's, you know, it's all like, you know, working with a new coach as well. We've got to learn the body, but I'm definitely much like on that side of things. I think sometimes my body's just like, you need to have a bit of time off.
Yeah.
Like just a day just to let it relax. So yeah. But anyway, that's where I'm at.
Nice. Is it my go?
It is.
Is it my go?
Might have to let this one out, so talk amongst yourselves.
That's all right.
Talk amongst yourselves. Oh, we could come back to. Do you think UK figure is merging into physique?
Oh yeah, come back to that in a minute.
Okay, we'll wait for Romana on that one. That's an interesting one.
What other ones you got on there? Have you got any show me your armpits? Get the nappage out.
Get the nappage. Actually.
Oh yes, today we trained nappage.
We trained nappage today.
Just got a lovely one. First one was very enjoyable, insightful, and good humour level. So thank you for that.
Thank you very much.
We've had very good feedback on our last one, didn't we?
Yeah.
Which was good. So
I mean, we've got by the time people see this, they're going to watch the other ones.
Yes.
So we've got quite a few.
Ah, yes.
Yes.
But no, I didn't. Who do you reckon can bench more? I
mean, not using this as an excuse, but I haven't done benching since that first time.
Yeah.
Well, I'd probably say when I started working with Tom, so that's since what, October?
Yeah, about that, wasn't it?
Yeah. I'm probably saying you. Either you or Romana.
I haven't benched in ages. I once did like a.
Are we talking about standard barbell benching?
Yeah,
right?
it's like standard barbell. I think I once did like 90 for 6 or something like that. I can't remember. That's been so long.
I've done 90, but not for 6.
Yeah,
probably 2, 3, long time ago.
I think if I got back into it, I would be above 100.
Yeah,
for a single.
I think that with specific with that, you've got to keep it in, haven't you?
Oh yeah, 100%. Like that's what I found. Like obviously, because my training is different every session. I had a stint where I would do this very similar sessions, or just have the same exercise, like dumbbell press, for example. Like I kept that in for like 6 weeks, and I think I managed to do the 50s like a double, just because I kept it in. But if I do it like on the off chance nowadays, I'm like, oh, it's really weird. It's quite funny how if you keep one exercise in, obviously because progressive overload and all that stuff, you get used to doing it, how much of an impact it actually has.
It's like things like pull-ups. If I leave them out, I'm shit at them. Like if I keep them in now, like I'll keep a few in, like I'll just do an extra set or something like that, chuck them in, and I can keep them going. But there's one of those things I love doing, like, and it's not going to affect me either way if I do or don't do them.
Yeah.
But it's just something I enjoy doing, so I keep them in.
Yeah.
But I mean, a flat bench for me, I don't see any benefit for me for a flat bench. Like, you know, like what we did today, like variations of like different chest press.
What are we talking about?
Who can bench the most out of us three?
I haven't benched. Oh God.
That's what we were saying.
Yeah, a long time.
Yeah, lockdown, I think.
What's your best bench ever?
75.
Really?
Oh, we've outdone you then.
But then that's
Pussy
again on prep. But then I never bench.
No, that's what we were just saying.
Mainly because I train on my own. I value my face.
Yeah. We were just saying there's no benefit to us really doing the flat bench, right? Like it just doesn't. No. I find myself feel like really like it's just I feel like I'm shoved into like a little box.
Yeah.
It just doesn't feel right on my shoulder. Like even though
it feels like my shoulders gonna snap.
We don't like it.
I used to get the main reason I stopped was I used to get real tightness in my serratus anterior if I was benching.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
But I wouldn't know it was in there.
Yeah.
So it just looks like I'm grabbing my boob. But it would all kind of lock up around my scap, my subscap area.
It's not a comfortable movement, I don't think.
No.
Unless specific, obviously, to powerlifting or some type of sport that requires you to do that.
Yeah, that's it, exactly.
Is it my turn for
I think I've run out of questions on my side.
Do you want to do the UK figure one?
Oh, yes.
So, do you think UK figure is merging into physique?
No.
No, I wouldn't say that either.
I think they're quite separate,
Yeah.
I think,
I mean, as past figure into physique, you got moved because you
I mean, I've not had any specific feedback that perhaps I should have been in physique from the start, but I mean, doing my own sort of looking and the fact that it was the first thing Tom suggested, I mean, my comparisons in my pro debut, the figure athletes, their glutes are just fuller, whereas mine were dug in, striated. The same with my back and my delts, whereas they still had striations, but they weren't as
dry, I suppose.
They can. Yeah, it was just, and it makes me wonder because I look at the woman who came 9th and I came 10th, and I look at the comparison between the two of us, and her waist is much smaller. I think that's the other thing. I think with physique you can be a little bit more blocky in the waist than the figure. They really like that tight waist. But comparing with the woman that came 9th, like she is so much softer and her quads aren't as big. But she does have sort of rounder, fuller glutes. And if you look at the criteria, it does specify that there shouldn't be striations. And that's the IFBB criteria.
But I don't think
plus the heels.
Plus the heels.
I wouldn't say that figures turn into physique. I think each category within their own right are getting bigger.
Yes, for sure.
And everything's
harder,
evolving and changing for sure.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say it's. No.
Yeah, I mean the figure girls. I mean some of the shoulders on them are ridiculous.
Insane.
To create that X frame, but then they don't necessarily have the arms.
I was going to say the arms are a lot smaller, aren't they?
Yeah.
So no, I would agree with you guys.
Damn figure.
That's why
I've got twiglet arms.
And just beastly shoulders.
Yeah, but that's it. It's my delts make my biceps look small.
It's all an illusion. Whereas my biceps make my shoulders look small.
It's that quite, but the thing is, that's the constant.
Can you imagine? Like, how funny would that be if we swapped arms?
It
would look strange. It would look so fucking strange.
It would look like those, those photos where the woman stands there with her arms behind her back and her partner's like cracking a double bi. It would be like that.
Like, I did one of those photos with my sister once. I'll bring it up and show you. But it's that's what I found as well. Like for figures, almost I stopped training my arms because they were they are just naturally big, and they would make my shoulders look smaller. And then I was like, constant battle. And then I was like, do you know what? I like having my arms look like that. And it's just kind of like, everything fell into place. But it is that smaller arms, smaller shoulders, bigger shoulders, sorry. And then it's just, more. I don't think it's...
I think physique is obviously you want like that X frame still, but everything else has to be as big as that X frame. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, so you want big shoulders, nice quad sweep, nice glutes, hamstrings, but
tiny waist.
Yeah, tiny waist, but you also want big arms. You know, everything else to be in proportion. Whereas big is maybe more like bigger shoulders, smaller arms, that kind of thing, like you were just saying, Debs. So yeah, and obviously the posing is different as well.
Yeah.
Like IFBB, you only do your quarter turns, right?
Yeah,
and your eye walk,
and an eye walk.
An eye
like,
walk. Yeah, I think the eye walk. It is a routine in a way.
Yeah.
People can get quite creative with it, but essentially it's not as creative as the full-on figure routine.
Yeah.
So I just think with physique, you get that opportunity to display your personality a lot more.
For sure.
I felt like I was quite restrained or being kind of squished. I don't know how else to describe it.
Yeah. I mean, some of these poses that some of these figure girls do that they can't do in IFBB are like unreal. Like some of them are so nice to look at. But
yeah,
I guess that's just the way the IFBB
the classic sort of X frame.
Yeah,
I used to love doing that one.
Yeah,
but it's you can put it in your eye walk, but it's not
allowed in your quarter turns.
No.
Yeah. So no.
Thanks. Just the answer.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyone got any more questions?
I think I've got one more good one.
I think I know the one you're on about.
No. I was gonna go with a sensible one.
Okay.
Favorite leg day movement.
Oh.
I really like a leg press at the minute.
I'm not feeling it. Makes my knee hurt at the moment.
See, I like a high box squat.
I like a leg press.
Yeah.
Hackety hack.
Hackety hack. See, I find with hack squats is it's so dependent on the actual hack squat itself. Because some, like, there's one at SUPs. I don't know whether you've used one at SUPs.
No.
It's so brutally like the plate itself is so like high that it just fucks your knees no matter where your foot placement is.
Yeah.
The one at Body World can be a bit like that.
Yeah.
I've had to really play around with the one at Unit 7. And like you might have seen in my videos, I've got yoga blocks under my shoulders and I'm squatting and doing it in my platform Converse just to get the depth.
But it works, right?
Now I've hit that.
Yeah.
And like playing around with like, because I find having that little bit of band at the bottom just does help with my knees, but not having it so it's taking the tension off the lift. So I am a daisy chain and band wanker when it comes to the hack.
Especially she's got a tripod out there as well.
Yeah.
No, it's just my water bottle, like every other normal person. Yeah.
What is this?
The tiniest of tripods.
Jason, it's not even yours.
No, it's not. It's not. I do have one of those like spider tripods.
To be fair, I pulled my tripod out of my bag today when Bob was filming, just to show people that I am part of the clan from time to time.
Do you have any issues with people? Like,
no,
when you whack it out.
No, I don't think
controversial.
Controversial.
No, I honestly don't. But the thing is, like, my gym is quite small, and like people just don't like. People are really nice in my gym. Like, if it's in the way, they'll wait until I finish and they'll move it, or like if I'll move it for them. Like, I'm quite aware of it, if you know what I mean. I mean, if it's super busy, I just won't get it out. I'm like, I won't get it out.
I think, unfortunately, there's been a lot of pretentiousness around the use of tripods that has just ruined it for all the normal people.
Yeah,
it's like, I don't know, it goes back to, it's not that hard to not be a dick.
Yeah.
If you want to film for your tripod, with your tripod, and I think we were sort of talking about it, it's, unfortunately, it's sort of a necessity with the social media world that to promote yourself, you do have to film your training. People want to see it.
Yeah, that's
providing content.
When you're Billy Bob with 50 Instagram followers and you're causing grief in the gym because someone walked in front of your set for a millisecond, it's like, come on, mate, wind your neck in.
Yeah.
Like,
you see a lot of that, and people just think like when they're at the gym, it's their gym. You're like, well, actually, there's like another. God knows how many 100 members here. Like, people just need to be considerate. And like, if you want to film stuff, cool, but just make sure maybe you put it somewhere where it's not in the way of someone else.
Yeah. Or like, don't get the arse. Don't get the arse if someone walks in front of it.
Yeah.
So what? Who cares? Someone's walked in front of it. Oh my god. You couldn't see the striation on my shoulder.
It's like, you're hardly going to lose X amount of followers because of it.
No.
That's it, exactly. But like you said, it's just such a fun, like, until I met you, Debs, I was a bit like, oh, don't really want to bother filming stuff. And then until we started this like WPD and speaking to someone who's a little bit more social media savvy, like, you do realise actually how much of a big impact it has.
Yeah, I'm really bad at it because I end up posting in the middle of the night and things like that.
Or something.
Oh, good! I've got lots of American followers.
Yeah.
The thing is, though, it's like it's not like it's. I like posting stuff on social media because it's like that's like almost like a scrapbook for me. I keep lots of stuff. I can look back on it in a few years. So like, I don't want to save all that to my phone. And besides the point, people like following it. It helps other people.
And I do things on the regular, like put my phone in the washing machine and smash my screen. So
you're just too old for it.
Yeah,
you're just done. You're done.
So I use Instagram, like you say, it's like my personal photo album,
but it's good to have. That's what it's there for. I don't know why people complain. Like, if people don't like it, they just need to unfollow them. Like, simple as, you know.
Yeah.
Simple as.
If you don't want to see my dog, don't follow me.
Yeah.
Simple.
Don't watch the podcast because she was being the fourth host.
She is Ruby. It should be the WPD podcast and Ruby.
Yeah,
and Ruby. I think that's.
Is that everything?
Yeah, apart from my Mrs. Alita sending me stupid fucking.
You're amazing.
Woo! what else? Snails or slugs?
Oh, see, I think snails.
I'm going to go with snails.
I was going to say snails. I once was mowing the lawn and or had a strimmer, and there was a slug on the fence, and I hit it with the strimmer, and it's basically exploded. I flicked the slug all over me. So ever since, I hate slugs.
Are you traumatized?
That was 10 years ago, yes.
I once put my hand in an oven glove that had an earworm in it, and it's...
Oh, no!
It makes me... Or the worst was...
No.
I used to live with another paramedic when we'd just finished uni, and we'd both gone away for 2 weeks over the summer, and I can't remember who it was, that's kind of irrelevant, forgot to put the bin out, and I came back first, and I've gone to take the bin out, and the maggots had eaten through the bin bag. So as I did that, it was just maggots all over my kitchen floor, and I am literally, I'm still traumatized by it. And I'm not that squeamish, but maggots and earworms.
It's for me. It's
earwigs,
millipedes, earwigs, and stuff like that. And I'm not saying like that. I'm someone that owns tarantulas. I've had scorpions. I've owned reticulated pythons. All that kind of stuff. I love it.
What's reticulated python?
It's the longest python in the world.
Was it long?
It's not an anaconda. Well, mine were babies when I had them, but they went up to 15.5 foot, and I had to get rid of them because of bodybuilding. I will get them again, but
I was going to say, what about the chihuahuas?
Yeah. Well, then the chihuahuas came later. I mean, I was feeding them rabbits, like thawed out rabbits like this. So yeah, they would have eaten my chihuahuas for sure. But the earwigs and the millipede stuff,
I won't let the crazy snake.
They make me feel sick. Like they make me feel so sick. Like, and when I used to live in Spain, you used to get these giant ones.
We discussed about you living in Spain.
They used to crawl up the walls. They were like this big, and if they bit you, like they're called all types of issues. And I was just like, ever since then, I fucking hate them. Like, if I see an earwig, I hate them. They're horrible. Or anything else is fine, but an earwig or a millipede or...
What else have we got?
Don't like maggots.
Would you rather have to always... Would you rather have to always hop around on one foot or have to always squat?
Probably be squat because you just create like an imbalance if you hopped everywhere, right? You have like one massive leg.
Having done yoga,
side tricep on this leg.
having started yoga back in October, the stuff on one foot actually really hurts. So yeah, squat.
I'm gonna say squat as well. I could not deal with that.
Yeah, nah. Got any more, Romana?
Would you rather have hands for feet or feet for hands?
Hands for feet.
Yeah, hands for feet. You could pick up so much shit, couldn't you?
Oh my god! Coming off onto that, just quickly.
I can pick things up with my feet already. So
elites can do that. It's actually really cool, to be honest.
There's actually, I saw it on TikTok the other day. There's actually a condition where, obviously, where we've evolved, you can still.
Maybe I'm a different breed. Maybe I'm not listening.